Okay, your microphone is free, so we have about 4 minutes to talk. How are you guys today?
I'm fine, Ricardo. Oscar.
Ricardo Oscar? Who is Ricardo?
You.
No, I'm Roberto.
Oh, Roberto, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Roberto.
Don't worry. It's fine.
Okay.
So you're fine. It's very good to hear that somebody's fine. It's very good to hear.
Thank you.
How about you, Diane? How are you?
I'm fine.
How about the others? You're not the only one in class. Come on, Priscilla. Oh, Pri Antunes, how are you?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, Claudia?
Fine. How about you guys?
I'm fine, Priscilla.
Hi, I'm fine too. I'm Carolina.
Hello, Carolina. Where are you?
I'm fine, and you, Roberto?
I'm doing okay. I haven't been out.
Don't have an option.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but my situation is probably worse. I have been inside of 4 walls for like 6 days already, you know, because I was in Europe last week. I just arrived on Sunday.
Okay.
And I crossed some very delicate regions. Like I was in Belgium, I had to go to France, and then I went to Spain, and there were many, and I was in Italy before that. So,
oh my God.
Yes.
Very dangerous.
Yes.
Very dangerous.
And besides, I'm old, I have diabetes, okay? And I have a high blood pressure. So
yeah, me too, Roberto, me too.
So concerning that, we are in the same boat then, okay? But it's okay.
But do you feel good?
Well, so far, no problem, okay? And I hope it continues like this, okay? So
but don't have fever, don't have any symptoms about the coronavirus? No, it's okay.
No, nothing at all. Thank God. Okay.
Thank God.
Yes. Thank, not thanks.
Ah, okay, perfect.
Because I thank, you thank, he thanks.
He thanks. Okay, perfect.
Thank God I'm fine. I was already under a quarantine in Belgium. Okay. Belgium locked down at the beginning of the month. So I was already under a quarantine there. And I only left the house where I was staying to go to the airport in Paris. But it was quite difficult. We had to cross like 8 roadblocks with a lot of soldiers and police officers. And then from Paris, I went to Madrid, from Madrid to Sao Paulo, okay? So I'm here, okay? Well, I think I was not expecting to have too many people today because it's Saturday. And I thought even under the quarantine, a lot of people would do something better than just listening to an old man speaking English, okay? But that's okay. I have prepared something nice, and we are going to have our normal class today, all right? So, as usual, I'm going to mute you. I'm sorry, but if there are not many people, I can just leave your microphones open, so you're free to ask me questions, as long as you don't keep the TV on or the radio on at the background, or that destroys, screws everything, okay? So I'm not going to mute you now. Let me share my screen. Let's see what we're going to study today, and then we can start our class, all right? So, as usual, on behalf of Descubra Mundo, I'd like to welcome you again. All the members of Descubra Mundo, they have been working very hard to adapt themselves to the new situations. I have been working round the clock just to prepare you material every night because I didn't have anything ready. It would be very easy for me to give this to you on a face-to-face. But once you have to give it online, you have to write down everything you have in your mind. And that takes time, okay? So I usually spend the entire night just working on the material. So if you see any mistake, any misspelling, please don't consider that, okay? I'm just trying to do my best to provide you with some helpful information that I'm sure is going to help you a lot. Today, we are going to talk about something very cool. I like it a lot. I don't know if you guys use it, but if you don't, you should start using. It's called question tag or tag questions. Does anyone know what this is before we continue? Remember, your microphones are open. Does anyone know what this is? Hello?
Yes, it's like that question is used to confirm an affirmative or a negative question. It's like a short question used in the end.
Very good. You have an idea. Yes. Anyone else? Is there any other one who has a different opinion of Deusiane?
Roberto, I don't know about.
Thank you. So you're going to learn. I'm sure that before the end of the class, you will know everything about this.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone else that has an idea of what is a question tag or a tag question? Is the same?
I think is when you confirm some information. You have, for example, one question, indirect, the same indirect question. You confirm some information. I think you put the sentence in the positive sentence and you question in negative sentence. No, understand my point? No.
I can see what you're trying to say. It's not exactly, yes.
Okay,
I understand your point. It's not exactly the same of an indirect question.
Okay.
An indirect question is a more informal way of having a conversation, okay? Imagine I go to a bar, I'm sitting having a drink with you, and then I start, what's your name? What do you do? Where do you work? Where do you live? What is this? Sounds like a police interrogation, okay? So this would be a logical situation for you to use indirect question, like, oh, I was wondering if you can tell me your name, or do you mind telling me your phone number? Okay, things like that. Question tags or tag questions, as somebody already mentioned, are short questions used at the end of either an affirmative or negative sentence that are used in two different situations, either to confirm something that you already know, or sometimes you don't know and you really want to ask for information in an informal way. That's the idea, okay? Understand what I'm saying? So
yes.
let's move down
okay,
the page.
Roberto, thank you.
My pleasure. Let's wait here. Let's move down the page and you can see what I'm trying to explain. This is very helpful, okay? So tag questions or question tags turn a statement, which is an affirmative sentence, into a question. They are often used for checking information, as somebody has already said, that we think we know. Sometimes we can be disappointed. Or if we are not sure about something and we want the other person to confirm it for us. Okay? That's the idea. Tag questions are made using an auxiliary verb, for example, the verb to be or the verb to have, okay? And the subject pronoun, I, you, he, she, it. I can never use a name at a question tag, like doesn't Paul. No, I have to say doesn't he, all right? Is anyone asking me a question that I'm not getting or no? No? Can I just go on?
No.
No.
Okay, okay. So pay attention here. One more interesting thing. We only use the negative tags contracted. I cannot say, for example, it's warm today. Is not it? It doesn't exist. It's always, isn't it? Okay? Isn't it? Usually, as somebody has already said, if the sentence is affirmative, the question tag is going to be negative. And if the sentence is negative, the question tag is going to be positive or affirmative. There are some examples here. And the examples are easy, but what I'm going to spend some time discussing are the exceptions. The exceptions are much longer. Here. It is cold, isn't it? If I say it isn't cold, negative, I say, is it? Okay? Now, there is one, I call it weird. You know what's weird? Very crazy, very strange. You can call a person like, she's so weird. You know what's weird? Have you ever heard this word here? Weird? Are you familiar with these or no?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Weird. There is a very weird exception. Because as I said, in the question tag, you are always supposed to use contractions. Can anyone tell me what is the contraction between the verb to be am and not? Is there a contraction for am and not?
No.
No. Good. There is no contraction.
Yeah.
So what if I want to create a sentence like, I'm a good teacher, and I want you to confirm, please. Okay, I want you to say yes, yes, yes. But I want you to confirm using a question tag. I'm a good teacher. I'm supposed to say, am I not? I am. I?
Acabou de
What
cair.
happened?
Vendo aí, ó, consignados para café Malta, junho desse ano.
What?
Mania.
Somebody's speaking nonsense conversation here. So, oh, I'm a good teacher. The correct question tag in this case, because there is no contraction between am and not, is aren't I? Aren't I? Don't be surprised. That's the correct. This is what you're going to find if you're doing a test, like if you're doing any proficiency test. And they love this kind of construction because it's very irregular. You can say, oh, teacher, I heard somebody saying ain't, you know, like this.
In songs have a lot of and, no?
Ain't, yes, especially in
Yeah.
songs. Ain't, this word, if you Google it, you will see that grammatically speaking, it doesn't exist. It's not officially accepted yet. So it means you cannot use it if you're doing a test. The correct is aren't I. I myself have heard people say, ain't I? But it is not acceptable. It's not correct because ain't is am not, are not, is not, okay? It's all the forms of the verb to be. And in Black English, I'm not racist, but in the United States, you have English and you have another version of English that you can find on the internet, which is called Black English. That is the English spoken by Black people. They have their own language. In Black English, they use ain't, even to say have not or has not. She ain't got any money. I think you have heard this in movies. She ain't coming. I ain't like that. So I don't like it. Everything is ain't. That's why it's common in music, but it's not common if you have to do a test. If you have to write a business email, it's terrible English. Don't use that. So forget about ain't and let's preserve aren't I. So again, I'm going to ask the question, I'm a good teacher, aren't I?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, my Lord. Okay, you
Yes.
just made my day. I was hoping to hear at least one yes, so I got more than one. That was fantastic. Okay, so I'm in charge of the food, aren't I? Yes, you are. That's the correct answer. Okay? So pay
Okay.
attention here to a lot of examples. Let's go over all of them. We can have tag questions or question tags with all the tenses. Like in the simple present with the verb to be, she's Italian, isn't she? In the simple present, they live in London, don't they? We are working tomorrow, aren't we? It was cold yesterday, wasn't it? He went to the party last night, didn't he? We were waiting at the station, weren't we? They've been to Japan. They've been to Japan. You see, there is a have. That's the auxiliary. So I say, haven't they? She's been studying a lot recently, hasn't she? Don't confuse she's. If you ask me only, what is the meaning of she's? It depends. It's possible to be she is or she has. It depends on the verb that comes after. If it's she's studying, it's she is studying. But she's been studying. Here is she has been studying. So the question tag is hasn't she? He'd forgotten his wallet, hadn't he? We'd been working, hadn't we? She'll come at 6, won't she? They'll be arriving soon, the same, won't they? They'll have finished before 9, it's the same, auxiliary will, won't they? She'll have been cooking all day, same, won't she? So, is there any question about any tense that appeared here?
It's okay.
No question. Very good. If you have modals, use the modals like he can help, can't he? John must stay, mustn't he? John should go, shouldn't he? No problem. And in the other page, you also have examples, but now they are the opposite. You see? We aren't late, are we? She doesn't have any children, does she? The bus isn't coming, is it? She wasn't home yesterday, was she? They didn't go out last Sunday, did they? You weren't sleeping, were you? She hasn't eaten all the cake, has she? He hasn't been running in this weather, has he? We hadn't been to London before, had we? You hadn't been sleeping, had you? They won't be late. They won't, will they? He won't be studying, will he? She won't have left, will she? He won't have been traveling, will he? The same, she can't speak, can she? They mustn't come, must they? No problem, this is easy. I want to talk about the exceptions because this part is easy. Any problem about this or no?
No.
I think no.
No, it's fine.
Okay. When you have questions, you can say, I don't think so, or I think so, I don't think so. It's not very nice to say, I think no. Okay? It's,
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so. That's the best possible way to respond. Pay attention here. This is what I want to spend some time with. If you ever need to do any proficiency tests, I don't care if it's first Cambridge certificate or advanced or proficiency or TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, they will try to exploit the cases that we are going to talk about now. Not the easy ones that we saw before. These are the exceptions. This is what they will talk about, okay? So please, stay with me now. Oh, the first case I have already told you, and I want you to remember forever. Every time you start an affirmative sentence with I'm, the question tag, you don't even have to read the rest. I'm, you go there and complete with aren't I. If it's negative, like I'm not a young guy, I'm not, I'm aware of these, I'm not. So I'm not, I can say, am I? But if it's I'm, the question tag is always aren't. Now, when I have any sentence starting with let's, and it's interesting because it's possible to be let's go or let's not go. It doesn't matter if the sentence is affirmative or negative. The question tag is always, shall we? For instance, let's go to the beach, shall we? Let's have a coffee, shall we? Do you understand the use of shall? Have you ever seen these? Do you understand these or no? Come on, be honest with me.
I know.
Teacher,
know.
I see this only in the formal English, in the contracts, for example, we use a lot of shall.
Yes, in business English, you mean, yes?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
but why do
But
you use...
I don't know how to use this model.
Yeah, yes, I have the same doubt, but
Yeah,
I
me
see,
too,
but
I
have
don't know.
doubts. Yeah.
Fantastic. I love when people have doubts. Otherwise, I would not have a job. Okay? If you guys knew everything. What's that again?
You are in the right place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I'm so glad. When I ask, do you have any question? Everybody says, no. I think I'm going to lose my job. Okay?
Yeah.
I have to retire earlier.
Yeah.
But bear in mind, shall. Someone over there said, it's very conservative. Americans don't even like it. British people use it. Americans don't use it. Okay? But shall is only used with the first person. Shall I? Or first person plural, shall we? I can never use shall with he or they or shall. She is even strange. Shall she? Okay, sounds terrible. So it's only shall I or shall we. In American English, you could replace shall by should. It's the same idea of should. For example, what shall we do tonight? The idea of using shall is to ask for your opinion about something. What shall we do is what should we do? Because this, I could ask you this question right now. If you turn on the TV, the president says, don't stay home, go out. The country cannot stop. The health minister says, don't go out, it's dangerous. The governor said, we cannot go out. So I'm confused. What shall we do? Shall we stay home? Shall we go out? You see, I'm asking for your opinion. That's the use of shall, but only the first person singular, shall I or shall we. When I say let's, have you ever stopped to think, what is the meaning of this apostrophe S here? Do you know? Is it is? Let is? What is the meaning? Have you ever stopped to think, or you only use it and you don't know?
Let us.
Wow. Who said that? What's your name?
Deusiane.
Deusiane. Very good. Let is abbreviated with us. So let's means let us. So when I use let's, the idea is I'm asking your permission to do something. Let us go. Let's go to the beach. That's why here we have shall we. I just want you to confirm if that is a good idea or not a good idea. Understand it or not? Got it?
I think so.
Oh,
Okay.
Oscar, got it. Yes?
Okay.
So every time, and now remember, let's not go out, shall we? It doesn't matter if it's affirmative or negative, it's always shall we. Okay?
Yes.
Good.
Teacher,
Another, yes.
I have a parenthesis here. I had more than 10 years of cultura inglesa, and I have private classes more than 6 or 7 years, and never one teacher say me that the abbreviation of let us. It's very funny to me. It's very bizarre.
I'm very happy to hear that.
And I am very surprised.
Tonight, yes, I think I'm not going to sleep tonight because I think I'll be able to keep my job for a few more years, okay? Because, yeah, you've been studying for a long time in one of the schools that I consider to be the best, you know? And you have also been having private classes. And it's amazing that nobody told you that let's is the abbreviation for let us, because the idea, I cannot say let's and everybody goes and I stay because I am included. Let us. That means I am included in the middle of this, understand?
And I never stopped to think about this. I never stopped to think.
I know. What we do usually, we tend to memorize and repeat things, okay? I don't like my students to memorize. I like my students to understand, okay? I don't know. I honestly speaking, I was not born an English teacher. I'm myself an engineer. So I think I have a different way of thinking. I went to university in the United States and I studied engineering over there. So the way I think is different, okay? So I don't like having to memorize things. I prefer to understand things. The day I understood let is let us, I knew that I should always include myself in the case. And that's why we use we, because here's us, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Roberto,
Yes.
I have a question. I have a question.
Very good.
It's possible a negative form in this case?
Yes, of course, but it doesn't alter the question tag.
Okay, I understand.
For instance, are you married or single, Oscar?
I'm married.
Okay, let's suppose that your dear wife says, honey, I'm tired of staying home. I want to go out tonight. I want to go dancing or something like that. Let's go. You have to say, sorry, baby. Let's not go out. Let's not do anything. Shall we? Let's not do anything. Shall we? But why? We are under a quarantine. It's dangerous to go out. Okay?
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if you have an affirmative or negative. The question tag will always be shall we.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay? Now, number 3. You know what is an imperative? An imperative is when I give you a command, an order, like close the window, open the door, don't smoke here, okay? Every time I have an imperative sentence and I want to make sure you understood, I say, will you? For example, close the window, will you? Don't smoke here, will you? It's the same. Negative or affirmative, the question tag is always will you. I'm sorry. My screen just went up instead of going down. Okay? Oh, hold this, will you? All right. As I told you, I was trying to cross the border between Belgium and France. And there were a lot of soldiers and police officers. And I remember the guy with the machine gun saying, stop the car now, will you? We stopped. Okay? Stop the car now, will you? Will you here is practically the same of please, but it's asking to confirm that you understood the message. Stop the car, will you? Get out of the car, will you? Come out of the car with your hands up, will you? It was like this. Understand the situation? So every time you have an imperative sentence, the question tag is, will you?
Okay.
Now, be careful here. Special cases, I have already highlighted in yellow for you. There are words in English that are considered negative words, like nobody, never, barely, hardly, rarely, okay, hardly ever. These words are negative. So if I have a sentence with one of these words, like nobody lives in this house, you can say it's an affirmative sentence. It's a negative sentence because nobody, you see, nobody lives in this house. So I have to ask an affirmative question tag, like nobody lives in this house. Do they? You can say, but nobody's third person. Nobody lives. Yes, but the question tag should be they. This is what I talk later. With nobody, somebody, everybody, I always use they. Okay? Always, always. Even if I say somebody didn't wash the dishes, did they? Okay? Like you've never liked me. Never, never means not ever. Together, never. You've never liked me. Have you?
Okay.
Any problem here or no?
It's okay.
Thank you. Let's go to number 5. When the subject is nothing, nothing is one thing, nothing. I always use it. And of course, nothing is negative. Like, nothing bad happened, did it? For example, on my way back from the airport, there was a horrible accident. But nothing bad happened to you, did it? No, I was okay. So nothing bad happened, did it? Nothing ever happens, verb in the present, does it? But the important here is the subject. Every time it's nothing, I always use it. And when I have nobody, somebody, everybody, no one, someone, everyone, the subject is always going to be they. Like nobody asked for me, did they? Nobody lives here, do they? Any problem about number 5 and number 6?
No, it's okay.
No, thank you.
Okay, I thought the girls had already left because only Oscar answered, so I thought there were no more girls in class. So here, there is an expression in English that is a very common expression in English that is used to. Used to is used to talk about past habits, things that you did for a long period of time in the past, but you don't do it anymore. Okay, for example, I used to live in Italy. Okay, I have an Italian citizenship, so I used to live in Italy. But when the situation got bad, I think I was the first one to jump out of the boat. Okay, I just went to another place, but I used to live there. All right, so I have here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't talk about number 7. Yes.
Yeah, you skipped that.
Yes, Robert, 7.
I skipped. Okay, that's to skip. I skipped number 7. It's not jump. Jump is when you do the physical act of jumping something. That's
Yeah.
why in the CD player, you have a button, skip. That's when you skip a song, okay? You can also, at school, skip a class. In Brazil, we say to kill a class. In English, they say to skip a class, okay? So I skipped number 7. If the main verb of the sentence is have, observe that it's have. It's not the case of have been, have seen. It's only have or had. It's not the present perfect or the past perfect. I'm going to use do, doesn't, or didn't, okay? If there is anyone who is studying, or that girl that said that she studies at Cultura Inglesa, in England, British people, they like using the verb have always as an auxiliary. It's very common to listen to Brits saying, have you got a cigarette? Have you got a lighter? Okay? But in this case, they use it, but not in question tags. In question tags, if I say, you have a Ferrari, I have to say, don't you? It's not possible to say, haven't you? She had a great time. I say, didn't she? Because had is in the past. All right, no problem about this.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Now I can go to number 8. As I was saying, used to. Every time you want to talk about the past habit, you say, I used to. There is no present construction for used to. This is only past. So when you say, I used to go out with that girl, today I don't go out with her anymore, but I did for some time in the past. I used to live, as I said, in Italy, but I don't anymore. I'm back to Brazil, okay? I also used to study in an American university, but I don't anymore. So because used to has a past meaning, the question tag is always formed with didn't. Like, you used to work here, didn't you? He used to have a long hair, didn't he? Now, to surprise you a little bit and going opposite of we have seen so far, there are special cases that I can have an affirmative sentence and also an affirmative tag. But in one case, this is used to express a strong surprise reaction to something that you hear. For example, when I told my friends, I'm sorry, I can't stay here anymore. I'm moving back to Brazil. They looked at me and said, you are moving to Brazil? Are you? The idea here is it, really? So you're moving affirmative to Brazil. Are you? is when you are surprised with something. So you're not asking for confirmation, you're not asking for information, you're just showing surprise. Then you can use this. Okay, understood?
Okay.
Okay, girls.
Okay.
Okay,
Now-
okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, just to
Okay.
finish this, there are two possible pronunciations for question tag, and I wanted to end the class talking about this. If we don't know the answer, if we are using a question tag not to ask for confirmation, but to ask for information, what do? We give a rising intonation at the end of it. Like, you don't know where the boss is. Do you? Do you? It means I have no idea. I'm not expecting you to confirm. I want to know. Like, she doesn't live near here, does she? So every time you don't know the answer, you want the other person to give you the answer, you give a rising intonation to the question tag. But when you know the answer and you just want or expect the other person to confirm it for you, then the intonation is falling. See the arrow here? Go down. Like,
Okay.
that film was fantastic, wasn't it? Wasn't it? You're a doctor here, aren't you? You see? In this case, I am 99% sure. I only want you to confirm. And then I give a falling intonation at the end. Understand this?
Yes.
Yes.
Everything you have to know about question tags, I tried to write down here for you. I prepared some exercises. Let's try to do 1 or 2 exercises together, and the others you can enjoy over the weekend. I have also, I think it's been already uploaded, but that's not my job, so I don't know. I have also uploaded 2 funny stories for you to read over the weekend. They are funny. We are supposed to enjoy, to have fun. In a very sad moment, I thought about giving you 2 funny stories that you were supposed to read and come up with some possible solutions for that. I will discuss them with you on Monday, but I'm sure you can already download them in our website. And of course, for free. You don't have to pay anything, okay? But let's see some exercise here. For example, this one here, number 10. John's always been a very good student. What is the question tag that we use here?
Haven't he?
Hasn't.
Hasn't he?
Hasn't he?
Thank you. Not haven't. John, third person. Hasn't he? Excellent. Excellent. Okay. See, there is a mistake here. I told you. Like, I'm sorry, okay? I will correct here, but maybe if you have already downloaded the material, it's wrong. It's
Crazy.
I'm crazy. Yes, it's I'm crazy, not it's crazy. Only if you're talking about your dog, but it's not good to give chocolate to dogs. I'm crazy about chocolate. Oh, I'm crazy about chocolate. What's the question tag here?
Aren't I?
Aren't
Yes,
you?
of course. Aren't I? Always. Aren't I? Because I'm crazy, aren't I? It's a question that you are asking, like I'm asking, I'm crazy about chocolate, aren't I? So what's your problem? Give me that chocolate. Okay? Well,
Okay.
you have some exercise here. I try not to use the exceptions, but I want you to study the exceptions, because if you are planning to take any kind of proficiency test, it doesn't matter if it's Cambridge, TOEFL, TOEIC, or IELTS. Okay, I have prepared students for this kind of test for more than 30 years. So they love this kind of things, especially the exceptions. So make sure you understand the exceptions. I thank you very much for spending some of your time with me, especially on a Saturday afternoon. And on behalf of Descubra Mundo, I'd like to thank you for staying home and keeping yourself safe and sound. And I hope that my classes will bring little knowledge for you and will help you, will guide you, make yourself, let's say, improve your English and make yourself feel more comfortable about using certain constructions. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Monday, our class is at the regular time at 6 o'clock. So I hope you enjoy your weekend with your family. Okay? Take care, and I'll see you on
Thank you.
Monday.
Thank
Have a
you,
nice
Thank
week.
you.
everybody. Thank you,
Thanks.
Roberto.
Thanks for class.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.